I was being manipulated and they're not following through with their original
Manipulated by
agreement.
whom?
She broke these laws.
She being whom?
They're,
Ma'am, I'm gonna have to stop you because I'm not clear what you're talking.
well, I think that there's a
I'm as lost as you are with this, Judge. Ms. Malik has called my office and left over 120 voicemails. She's made threats against my bar license. She's made threats against my family. She's made threats against my office staff.
why am I?
Ma'am, you have interrupted me numerous times.
I'm sorry.
That needs to stop.
Could you please a little courtesy where this is concerned, please?
You've not granted me any courtesy in terms of your talking. Why should I grant you any?
I feel swindled.
This is one of the craziest hearings I've seen in a while. This Karen storms in court like she owns the place and refuses to shut up. Even after Judge Simpson snaps on her multiple times, she keeps running her mouth, throwing shade, and acting like the judge is just some guy she's beefing with on Facebook until he finally has enough and kicks her out of the court. And the whole reason she's here is because she is a squatter and she refuses to move out. Let me know in the comments if you think Judge Simpson is going too easy on her in this one, because I definitely would have kicked this idiot out in 2 minutes. Let's go ahead and dive in here and watch this idiot Karen get absolutely humbled by Judge Simpson in court here.
How are you?
I don't know.
I'm looking for every great recommendation I can receive from you today, sir. I have been in a very horrible assaultive position.
Okay,
Since I left your
hold on a second.
Okay.
State your name for the record.
Danette Mellick.
Okay, go ahead, Miss Mellick.
Well, I entered your courtroom honorably last year at this time. I came in as a plaintiff.
Okay.
And when I swore in, I gave some information about one company, Akram Rashid, merging with a new owner. At that time, I, the customer, was not given the respect, nor any other tenant in my building, underneath the laws to meet this person as a consumer. It is of complete responsibility for a new company to acquire the permission of the tenant, where money is concerned, to enter a good consumer relationship. This did not happen. Time proceeded, and this maintenance company decided to enter person's property with no permission, started to manipulate them, stealing possessions, stealing automobiles.
Hey, ma'am, can I ask you something?
Sure.
Is this your motion to set aside the judgment?
Well, I did set it aside, and we met that agreement. An attorney named Kevin Callahan sat in a court with me as a plaintiff. According to the law, there are no attorneys allowed. So I tried to motion in at the end of August because I recognized.
Hold on, no attorneys allowed where?
When I first met with you, Your Honor, I went into a small claims, and I was underneath the impression through the courses of the law that there were no attorneys allowed in a small claim. So something kind of got jangled up. I presented charges.
Ma'am, hold on.
Okay.
Okay, because I want to make sure that I've got everything in front of me. Was there a small claims case?
Yes. And at that time, we made an agreement.
Go ahead.
That after August, which was Akram Rashid's current lease, that there were not supposed to be any changes to, yet that wasn't the case. I would be on a month to month. I raised my right hand. Kevin Callahan, yourself, and I made that agreement. He swore to me, my mother, which then reported it to my banks. I reported it to my private attorneys in New York City that managed my work. And I contacted the courts. I talked to him verbally over the phone from his office in St. Clair Shores. And he stated to me that I swear, you're going to receive that sheet of paper. I waited and I waited and I waited. Spring and summer came to fruition. And I called the courts. It's getting, later in the year. Where's the sheet of paper? It was as easy as that. There was no failure of me to make the payment. I still have the finances set aside. I feel like they are trying to retaliate against me because I've continued to make reports.
Retaliate against you, the same person who's not paying rent in and is living on a month-to-month lease like it's a Netflix subscription. Just tell me how that makes sense, because I'm seriously struggling here. This lady is seriously giving full Chihuahua energy, though. She's loud, jittery, and completely convinced she's in charge of the room. It doesn't even matter how old they are, either. Some people hit adulthood, and they just never upgrade from their toddler logic. Let me know in the comments what kind of dog you think this Karen is. Because right now, she's somewhere between a yappy terrier and a hairless show poodle with a superiority complex. And also, shout out to this poor lawyer in the bottom of the screen who clearly didn't sign up for this. He looks like he's holding back a screen while co-signing pure nonsense. Also, real legal tip real quick. Retaliation only counts when there's a protected action, not when you've just been a nightmare tenant with Wi-Fi.
Which is my sole discretion. I have the right to do that. Between the Michigan State Police that were called on numerous occasions by other.
Ma'am, I'm going to have to stop you because I'm not clear what you're talking.
Well, I think that there's a position here where there's charges that he wanted to dismiss, but because he did not fulfill the obligation that he promised me, by August, I was being manipulated, and they're not following through with their original agreement.
Manipulated by whom?
I, yourself, and Callahan last January coming into February. We sat in the Zoom conference. I presented the paperwork that was unorthodox.
Judge, if I may, I have information on this.
And this change of ownership will not affect your lease agreement. She put unless otherwise indicated in your current signed lease. Well, unless otherwise means I can't do what I'm claiming I'm going to do. She broke these laws.
She being whom?
EJ Elizabeth Jefferson, who claimed to be a property manager that no one had ever met. There is no legible address. The Attorney General states that she's not a registered or licensed person. The federal offices told me not to be in business with them.
Ma'am,
yep.
I'm going to tell you right now, you've lost me. From
the very beginning, I presented, the first time I came in to see you, I presented both pieces of paper.
Stop for a moment.
Okay.
I had them pull a small claims case involving yourself against Bell Management.
Yeah, they did things that were illegal. Fair housing.
Ma'am, that was over a year ago. I would like to say I absolutely remember that.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I'm in dismay myself, sir, because I made that agreement with you. I clearly don't allow a judge or myself to be taken advantage of by an attorney's office.
Well, I don't know that I've been taken advantage of.
I believe I have been.
Okay.
I would not enter your courts to present this witness information.
Ma'am, stop for one moment. Okay. Let me hear, I've heard from you for a while. Let me hear from the other side.
Okay.
Mr. Callahan.
Thank you, Judge. Kevin Callahan, P78273, representing Bell Asset Management. The matter that Ms. Malik is speaking of was a previous matter, a small claims matter that was filed against my client in conjunction with a non-payment of rent matter that we filed against Ms. Malik. Those matters have been decided. Those matters are closed. It has no bearing on this matter whatsoever. This current case, Ms. Malik even admitted she's on a month-to-month tenancy. We provided a 30-day notice to Ms. Malik. She never showed up to court, so a default judgment was entered back in October against Ms. Malik. We subsequently filed a writ of eviction. That writ was signed by Your Honor, and now we get this motion to set aside that default 2 months after the default was entered, alleging that no attorney present and it was against her rights. And I'm as lost as you are with this, Judge. There's no basis to set this judgment aside. Ms. Malik is a month-to-month tenant. She has to vacate the property. However, I will say for the record, because I'm not going to let my reputation possibly be besmirched on the record here of doing anything illegal or improper, Ms. Malik has called my office and left over 120 voicemails accusing me of crimes under the federal law that don't exist, made threats against me, my family. Ms. Malik, I allowed you to speak. Please allow me to speak. She's made threats against my bar license. She's made threats against my family. She's made threats against my office staff. It has been deplorable what my staff has gone through with Ms. Malik over a situation that is a simple month-to-month termination, and Ms. Malik refuses to leave the property.
Okay, so now I'm confused because this high-ranking Goodreb lawyer is saying that this perfect polished Karen, who according to her has never done a single thing wrong in her life, is out here threatening him, harassing staff, and refusing to leave the property. Just tell me how that adds up. It's almost like she was lying the whole time. Shocking, I know. And honestly, I just feel bad for people like this lawyer and the landlord who have to deal with human barnacles like this. Squatters who've learned how to weaponize tenant rights like it's a game of legal Pokemon. They drag their feet, file nonsense paperwork, and act like they're victims of some nationwide conspiracy theory. And the worst part, in some states, you literally can't kick them out without going through months of red tape. They're like slugs, but louder, more entitled, and somehow protected by housing laws written before reality TV even existed.
Just asking for that judgment to stand and the writ to stand so that my client can move forward.
The property. I never made any threats to anybody's family. I never made any threats to anybody. I did call the office. I asked him for the sheet of paper that he promised. He said he would give me a month-to-month after August. I said, what is going on? I said, give me the oral confirmation or the written confirmation, and I'm going to continue to pay the money from August onward. I asked your court, I said, may I please have the sheet of paper?
Ma'am.
I did not threaten anybody.
Okay, fine. I don't know anything about that. And I'm not.
If he made an agreement about a month to
ma'am,
month, why am I?
Ma'am, you have interrupted me numerous times.
I'm sorry.
That needs to stop.
I did not threaten anybody.
Okay, fine. Always
Just
two sides to
deplorably
the story.
Rude.
But the reality here is you're before the court challenging, you're asking me to set aside a judgment to stay the writ.
She then told me, she flip-flopped with me 3 times. She put another sheet of paper underneath my door, asking me, E.J. Jefferson.
Ma'am,
she asked me if I abandoned my unit. Then she tried to take the money out.
Ma'am,
3
okay,
times
ma'am,
in
I'm
September
gonna, you know
and
what I'm gonna do,
October.
ma'am, here's what I'm gonna do.
But there was no order.
Ma'am, I'm gonna pass
She
the matter.
asked me to move
Quit
out.
interrupting me.
Yeah, she's still
Quit
trying to take the money.
interrupting me. That's warning 2. On the 3rd one, I act. You're before the court to set aside the judgment and the writ.
Yes.
So that the record is clear, the judgment was entered for failure to appear at 2 hearings. First one being October 6th, and then on October 20th. I issued of 2023. I issued the judgment.
Because I thought that the month-to-month would be honored. That's all. That's all that he gave me. It was all the information I went by, was what I was sworn in. When I'm underneath oath, an agreement is made, nothing happened other than me calling his office and asking for that sheet of paper. I diligently, respectfully, and responsibly,
Ma'am, you can have a seat.
3 strikes, you're out. Honestly, if I were Judge Simpson, I'd have this Karen doing a 24-hour reality check in a holding cell. Just a reminder that courtroom tantrums don't come with refunds. And let me know what you think about Judge Simpson so far. And if you're enjoying this wild ride with me, a like and subscribe would mean a lot, guys. Seriously, I appreciate every single one of you guys watching. Now, let's dive back in and see how this Karen does when all plays out. Clip 5. Yeah, the judge does not need to repeat himself 1,000 times. This isn't customer service, and he's not here to explain eviction law to somebody who clearly thinks threats counts as negotiation tactics. I mean, the landlord wants her gone. The judge already signed the order, and yet here she is acting like she's got squatter's rights just because she yells louder than everybody else. And now she suddenly wants to pay, too, after threatening everybody in the courtroom like she's auditioning for a true crime documentary. That's not how any of this works. You can't just bribe your way back into the house you set on fire. I'm also shocked the courtroom microphones didn't file their own restraining order, because she is just absolutely assaulting them right now.
Recalls the case, Bell Asset Management versus Melee. Let me, before anybody else says anything, because this is going way far afield. The only issue before me is the order that I issued in October, which was the judgment, and then the writ of eviction.
Well, I failed the October. I don't know how. I got confused. I'm not accustomed to the courts.
Ma'am, but if at any given time, here's what the problem for you, Miss Mann, and I'm just going to be blunt about it. That judgment went out from the court shortly after my signing. All right.
Sir, may I ask something of you? Once an agreement is made in court, isn't that you respectfully gave me the month to month. He told me if I dropped the charges on his group, his client would agree to give me a month to month. I mean,
then you're going to have to file a new claim that alleges that. That's not before me.
That's why I motioned in August.
No, but that is not before me today.
This is how I will state it.
No,
wait.
Won't.
That's
not before me.
I can pay the money. There was never a failure. I swear I had the money aside.
They want you out.
I didn't.
It's not about the money.
They asked me to pay. There was no probable cause in any level. I called his office respectfully. I asked him for the sheet of paper for the month to month that was agreed upon after August. She put a renewal underneath my door. If she wanted me to leave, why was she sending me a renewal? She tried to take the money out in September and October. That would mean I'm still on a month to month. I just said, where is the paperwork to confirm that? My bank has it on the record, JP Morgan Chase, September and October.
Ma'am, they want you out.
But she asked me to renew.
Ma'am, I don't know about any of those conversations. They have properly been granted a judgment for possession. They properly filed the writ or the order of eviction. I've signed the order of eviction. There is no basis, and I've listened to everything you said to me. There is no basis for this court to set aside that judgment or to stay the execution of the order of eviction or the writ of restitution. There's no legal basis for me.
I can't pay the money that was agreed
They
upon.
don't want the money.
Even though she tried to take it out in September and October.
This is a termination of tenancy case. I don't know anything that they've done regarding taking it out. This is
They did. They
termination.
tried to take the money out.
Okay, ma'am. That's fine. I don't know that. But even if that were true, the judgment in this
Like I said,
case,
I have not done anything though, Your Honor. I mean, this is against the law.
no, what would be against the law is me to grant your relief you're requesting.
People just go their whole lives acting like this. And you can tell this Karen probably never got held responsible for literally anything. And that's exactly why she's melting down in court like this. It's just wild how fast entitlement turns into a legal strategy when someone realizes, I don't like this isn't a valid defense. And threatening people to keep a property you legally lost. That's not courage at all. That's the courtroom version of shaking an empty gift bag and pretending there's something inside. Judges like Simpson deal with this circus daily. And honestly, he handled it better than most would have. He was pretty fair and firm in this one. I don't know what you guys think. Do you think he went too easy or not hard enough on her? I mean, at some points I feel like he could have just snapped on her. I mean, that's what I would have done. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want more courtroom chaos just like this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, everybody.
Because they, like you have rights, they have rights. You brought this before the court. And I'm going to say it again to you, so hopefully it'll sink in. They properly got a judgment. Upon properly getting that judgment, they properly requested an order of eviction. I issued the order of eviction. That order of eviction, the judgment, because you have not provided a basis that will stand. Your motion.
I did nothing after August other than oblige where a month to month was concerned. That was the agreement. I did not refuse payment. There was no probable cause. She put a renewal underneath my door. I says, well, where's the sheet of paper if you're trying to renew? And then she's flip-flopping back and forth with me. Well, I'm like, okay, I thought I was supposed to be on a month to month. That's all it was. She lied to me. And then she lied to me again. And then she tried to take the money out 3 times. So it got me confused. I'm like, well, then am I on a month to month? The bank has that on record. So I came in thinking that if I spoke the truth, because I was sworn in last year and it was agreed upon that I'd be on a month to month after August. That was it. It was as simple as that. I contacted your courts on numerous occasions prior to the end of August.
Ma'am, maybe you don't understand. I just issued my ruling. Your motion is denied. What I will indicate is that the escrow will be held for 15 days and then it will be released back to the defendant. I will not pay the escrow over to the plaintiff. It will be released back to the defendant in this case. Thank you.
What is the
Thank you,
time
Judge.
frame? May I have till the end of January, sir?
Ma'am, you're operating on borrowed time. I signed the writ
I cannot just
December 3rd. I signed the writ December 3rd.
to have a moving truck in, please, sir. I mean, it is the dead of winter. I have no problem moving out. I've been looking for another place because I don't trust those people. First, they're making an agreement with me and then they're flip-flopping. Could you please, a little courtesy where this is concerned, please?
You've not granted me any courtesy in terms of your talking. Why should I grant you any? But despite that, the writ will not execute prior to January 16th. So I will give you that grace of 10 days, and if I hear anything else, I may take that.
So I have to be out of this place by January 16th?
They cannot execute the writ prior to that date.
Okay.
Because otherwise they could do it tomorrow.
Right.
I am giving that 10-day, I'm giving you that period. I'm not giving you to the end of the month. I'm giving you that period. That's as far as I'm going. I'm done.
I don't know what I did. And I feel swindled.
Judge, should I enter a order to that effect, or will the court produce
Yes,
the
sir.
order?
Please.
Okay, thank you. I will
Prepare an
email.
order under the 7-day rule, please.
I'll do that.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Judge. Have a great day.